How you feel about Cassie testifying that Diddy would make male escorts urinate in her mouth?
I don't think Diddy made male escorts urinate in her mouth because 99% of the time, a woman isn't going to let you, no matter who you are, urinate in the fucking mouth. Period. I think Cassie wanted the dudes to urinate in her mouth. I think Cassie was as freaky as Diddy was. It just sounds good for the prosecutors to put it out there is because at this moment Diddy can't. And you can see now from the court documents that she also said that she was telling these male escorts to urinate in her mouth. It's two sides to a story, bruh. And I'm not taking no Diddy side because I'm not biased. But at the end of the day, she was asking the male escorts to urinate in her mouth. Look it up. It's facts. Am I lying?
Yeah, escort testified that it was true.
Come on now. Chop ain't gonna lie. Chop gonna fly to you, but he ain't gonna lie to you. You hear me? Yeah. So at the end of the day, I just don't look at it like a victimizing situation. I look at it like this is how I see it, Art. I see it like this here. I think Diddy did her dirty, just like Diddy did the choppers and the Black Robs and the Shines and the G Daps and the biggest, rest in peace. I got something to say about that too. I think he did all his artists dirty, and I felt like courtesy of Cassie dealing with her trainer, who's her husband now, who I have to respect. You dig? I believe that blue-eyed devil told that lady, we need to get compensated for what he put you through. Once he heard that freaky shit that man done to his wife, aka done with his wife, he felt like we should get compensated for it. Period. Because that's how the blue-eyed people see it. Oh, he done this to my wife. Don't really know the real truth. Say, bruh, he know the truth now from what she's testifying against right now. You did, but she ain't tell him all this here. You heard me when she was with this man. I put that on my life, yeah. She ain't tell that man this here until she got on that stand and had to let it go. When she was talking about, the man was ejaculating in her mouth and she catching uh what's she call it, BV souls and all this here. Yeah, she ain't tell her husband that. She had to keep it real on a stand. You understand? So I believe that Blue Eye Man told that lady, you need to get compensated for what he done you. Because women have a way of telling the next new man victimizing stories to make a man feel like, oh yeah, I should do something to him. And that's a Blue Eye Man way of getting back at a man, especially a black man. No offense, Blake, I love you. But especially a black man. You understand? And that's what I feel like happened. Facts. And that is fire. Because that's facts.
And how you feel about Cassie also testifying that Diddy would rub male escorts' DNA on his nipples?
I feel like that shit is diabolical, and I feel like it's nasty work. But say, bro, I can't unsee it. You heard me? Courtesy of how did he get down? We know he's a freaky man. He's a freakazoid. I can't unsee that. I think it's disgusting. I don't think no sane man would do no shit like that. No. But at the end of the day, once you surpass a level of rich for a certain amount of time, you surpass a certain level of wealth for a certain amount of time. You go past the bad black women, then you start having sex with the white women, then the ones you really can't get, the Asian women. You understand? And then you get weird and start dealing with men. Because that's what happens. The higher you go, the more wicked again. You start dealing with men. You understand? And then you still don't consider yourself gay. You understand? So you including a woman with a man, don't it makes you feel less gay. So it's not far fetched, but it to me it sounds true. I believe it. I don't think Cassie would lie about that. So I believe on that one. Believe that. How you feel about that? Ah.
I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that, man. But you knowing Diddy personally, do you think he's that nasty to that extent?
When it only had a situation one time, and that was in New York when I was on the road and I came. I remember I telling this story. Yeah, I told this story. I came, we was in like Soho or something, and we went to like this little party, this like white little party, you heard me? And we went like down some stairs in New York. You go like down some stairs. It's a whole It's a whole little Blade vampire party type. You hear me? But we went down there and we took some white girls and we knocked them down. And I didn't see all that, and that's what I'm gonna say about it. I didn't see Diddy. I guess Diddy got his picks and chooses of how he get down around dudes that's from the streets. I don't think, just my opinion, Diddy was gonna go on that type of level unless he felt like you was on that type of level. You heard me? Because I would have killed Diddy, and that's just facts. I would have been in New York right now, Rikers Island, murder, triple murder. I would have killed that nigga 3 times. So I feel like Diddy has his picks and chooses of how freaky he go. But I can't unsee that. I can't say Cassie's lying about Diddy telling her to have sex with a man, ejaculate when he ejaculate, take the cum, give it to me and rub it on me. I can't unsee that. I think she's keeping it real, son. I think that's wild business. I think it's wild magnolia. I think it's I think it's brutal Barone. That's great. Hold on. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm trying to I'm trying to compose myself, but I can't. That shit sound crazy. But say, bruh, you know, his preference is his preference. Yeah, but look, it's still not a crime, mighty. No matter how that sound, it's diabolical. Heavens, yes. Something that I would participate in? Heavens no. But at the end of the day, it's still not a crime, brother. But I'm listening. Proceed. Diabolical, no doubt about it, though, baby. Diabolical, brother. He probably mixed the sperm on his nibbles with the baby oil too, huh? We gonna call that we gonna call that sprout. You heard me? Baby Earl and sperm and baby Earl is sprout. You heard me? That nigga sprout, dog. You get it? Sprout riding? Oh, stop it. Oh, that was. I'm a goofy, yeah. I'm a goofball, but I'm serious, dude. I'm serious. You heard me? I'm serious, and we're gonna call Diddy new name. He's Sprout. He's Sprout. But yeah, proceed. You gotta be quiet, yeah, because she laughing. It is funny. I'm not gonna lie. They're gonna laugh off this. But yeah, I'm being honest. Yeah, it's nasty, but it's Sprout. He's Sprout milk, dog. You know. Go ahead, proceed, Mike. That was fucking sick. Oh, that was sick. All right. Funny, but sick. All right. Proceed, brother. Okay. Okay. Oh, man. A reset, please. Oh, 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 that was different. All right, say, bro, I'm trying to picture. Pause. I don't want a picture. Pause. I'm just gonna say it here. Telling a female to have sex with a male escort. When he ejaculate, bring his cum to me so I can rub it on myself. Ill. Yuck. No, I'm cool. Yeah, that's a sick man right there. That's all I'm gonna say about that. That's ill. That's nasty, son. But I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you, brother. I am. I'm listening. I don't want to listen to that, but that. All right. Yes, I'm listening. Next.
Yeah, Diddy a wild boy, man, wild dude. But I want to ask you about Cassie and how she testified that her and Diddy they was having a freak off in L.A. D-Rock he came in the room and told Diddy that Suge was at a diner, and Diddy he stopped the freak off, got dressed, and went to go look for Suge.
Cap. I don't believe that. Diddy ain't about that. I'm gonna tell you right now. One time we was in Miami, Florida. It was the VMAs, and Suge Knight came down there. I know Suge, of course, but I was still signed to Diddy. But when they heard Suge Knight was in the same hotel, Diddy made all of us pack up, and we had to fly out. I didn't fly out though. I flew out the next day, but they made everybody on the Bad Boy staff fly out. So I'm gonna have to not concur on that answer because Diddy was afraid of Suge. No matter how that sound, he was petrified of Suge. Maybe of what Suge can do, I don't know, but I don't think that's true. I think Diddy. was in endorsing fear in Cassie to make him seem like he's a gangster. You did because you can play any role with a woman. All you got to do is go get the guns. Let's go get this nigga, and she'll be spooked out of her boots. You understand? It's easy to put a woman in fear. You did to make her perceive anything of anything. But the truth is, Diddy was petrified of Suge Knight, and that's facts. I know because he made everybody pack up and go. I didn't go. I wouldn't have seen Suge. I sure did. And then he felt the way because I seen Suge. Low key, Diddy hated my guts is because, like I say, Half PL was one of the main reasons why I was on Bad Boy. He seen my potential. He thought I was talented. He thought I was a superstar, and I do too. But Diddy, one of the main reasons of a reason why Diddy just hated my guts, but had no other choice but to rock with me is because I was undeniable. When he heard, you heard me that I kicked it with Suge. Well, I didn't kick it with him, but I hollered at him. And then he was like, where everybody at bad, Suge said this, where everybody at Bad Boy at? I said, man, you know that nigga went and got everybody up to go. And we just joked about it. We had some drinks and we went on our way. But the next day, they took me to the office and just was like, you was talking to Suge and, you could have got killed and all this shit. And I looked at him, I said, say, bro, I'm off Baron and Molly the King. I said, if somebody gonna do me something, then it's for me. Can't nobody ever do nothing to me. It was just for me. So once I said that to him, he kind of like rolled his eyes and left out the office. But at the end of the day, I don't think that was true. Should, Puff Daddy wasn't gonna kill no fucking Suge Knight. He wasn't gonna ride on Suge, brother. He was afraid of him. You heard me? And that's that. You go to the next question, because that shit's cap. Cap. Puff ain't about that shit. Puff is a gangster to people that feel him. He's not a gangster to gangsters. Because gangsters don't gangster gangsters. Facts. Gangsters gangster people that can't stand up to him. Facts. Unless you're a crash out. And we all know he ain't that. Crash outs don't kill who you are. But gangsters don't gangster gangsters. So Puff is not a gangster. Matter of fact, he is a gorgeous gangster because he's a sneaky one. You understand? But he's gorgeous at how he do it. Even the Kid Cudi situation. Allegedly. You dig? What you talking about? When Kid Cudi called him, you heard me? He said, what you talking about? What do you mean? That's a gorgeous gangster. He not gonna let you know his moves because he know the scope on him. So Diddy has his picks and chooses of how he get gangster. So I don't believe the Cassie situation of him getting up with D-Rock. Shout out to D-Rock too. Um, Getting the guns and gonna go right on Suge. I just don't believe that because it's cap. I don't believe that. But Cassie didn't know no better. She a female, so you can induce fear in a female because she don't know no better. But if you know, you know. And I'm telling y'all, that shit was cap. He ain't about that. Yeah.
And speaking of D Rock, I know Cassie, she testified that D Rock would tell her to put an ice pack on her face after Diddy would beat her up.
Yeah, I can see that. D-Rock is a very charming person. He's very charismatic. You dig? Um, D-Rock, just my opinion, and shout out to him. But I feel like D-Rock was trying to do right by Puff, as well as having a little grace on Cassie, because deep down, I know he felt the way and his conscience plagued on him about the things that Diddy was doing to Cassie. I believe that because D-Rock is a good person. But also, D-Rock has a job. D-Rock has a family. You understand? He's not gonna he's not gonna lose his job for Cassie either. So I see that in two ways. I believe him telling her, you heard me, to put an ice pack on her was to soothe her up and making it look like it's no big deal, but actually it was the biggest deal in the world to beat on a fucking female. You dig? And you as a man, knowing that shit down bad, bruh, to tell her to put an ice pack on, I feel like that shit down bad and it's wrong. But yet and still, you got a job, so you gotta play Jekyll and Hyde, and that's what I think about that situation with D-Rock, because I know deep down D-Rock know that shit was wrong and it was down bad, facts. But yet and still, he has a job and a family to go home to. So that's just my opinion on that.